Good afternoon to students. I hope all the students and your families are fine. Myself, SREEMA JEEVAN, works as assistant professor. In this 2020-21 academic year, I got the subject as community health nursing. I think some madams has given the introduction to community health nursing. So in the community health nursing, I am having unit number 4. The unit is epidemiology and the nursing management of common communicable disease. So term epidemiology, I think it is new for you people. So we can able to discuss what is epidemiology. According to McMahon Park, epidemiology is the study of distribution and determinants of diseases frequency in man. So epidemiology is a study of distribution and determinants of diseases frequency in man. So what it says that the study for the investigation of all the factors that determining the presence or absence of any of the diseases. So at currently we are more having one communicable diseases around us. So that is corona. So with the help of this study, epidemiological study, we can able understand how many people are affected by the particular diseases and how many is affected and how many is relieved from the diseases also, and how it is occur towards the community. So these three things we can able to understand with the help of the study of epidemiology. So for the first one is, this epidemiology can help to understand how many are affected. How many is affected, not only affected thing, we can able to understand how many is relieved from the particular diseases. Then how this diseases is occur towards the community. So with this study, the study says that we can know about the number of affected peoples, number of non-affected peoples, number of affected relieved peoples, then how the disorders is affected. Next one, definition of communicable diseases. The diseases is transmitted from one person to the next person or from a reservoir to a susceptible host. We are calling as communicable diseases. For example, is tuberculosis. So current communicable disease is worldwide pandemic is novel corona only. So that is also one of the example for the communicable diseases. That is, the diseases is transmitted from one person towards the next person or from a reservoir towards a susceptible host. Third definition says that is the communicable period. So what is by communicable period means the time period requires for the transmission of infectious agents from the reservoir towards the susceptible host. So time, the duration or the period of time for transferring the infectious agents from one person towards the next person or towards from a reservoir towards the susceptible host. The time we are calling as communicable period. Next one, incidence. Number of new cases of a diseases or disorder in a population over a period of time we are calling as incidence. So how many new cases are there? For same thing, I will give the example is corona only. How many corona new cases are there in a particular timing, we can call here as a incidence rate. Then next one, prevalence. Number of existing case of a diseases in a population at a given time. So at present, how many are affected? So today, how many are affected by the corona? we are calling here as a prevalence. So at present, how many is affected in a certain population at a given time of, we can call as a prevalence. So see once more here, communicable period means period of time for the transmission of diseases from one reservoir towards a susceptible host. Then incidence means number of new cases of a diseases or a disorder in a population over a period of time. That is, how many new cases are affected towards a population in a given period of time. Prevalence means how many is existing currently, how many cases are there in a population at a given time, we can call as a prevalence. Next one is term is pathogens. So pathogens means communicable diseases in which by an organism, caused by a organism. The word organism we can call here as a pathogen. For example is bacteria and virus. Communicable diseases is caused by an organism. So this organism can be called as a pathogens. For example is bacteria and virus. Next term is infection. Infections are the condition that occurs when the pathogens enter the body, multiply and damage the body cells. So what is infection means? These pathogens enter into the human body, and with the suitable environment, this bacterial body or viral body will be going for multiply. So once it is multiply, it can able to go for damage your blood body cells. So whatever the damages is there can leading towards the infections. So infections are the condition that occurs when a pathogen enter the body and multiply and damage your body cells. So next heading is mode of transmission. Mode of transmission is divided into two. One is direct contact transmission and second one is indirect contact transmission. So first of all we can able to learn towards the direct contact transmission. So direct indicating from one person to person or droplet infection. First we'll learn direct contact. Infectious diseases are often spread through direct contact. So there is a two type of direct contact transmissions are there. First one is person to person contact and the second one is droplet spread. So learn about first one is person to person contact. So infectious diseases are commonly transmitted through direct person to person contact. Transmission occurs when an infected person touch or exchange of body fluid with someone else. This can happen before an infected person is aware of illness. Sexually transmitted diseases also transmit this way. So what it says that person to person contact. The infection can able to transfer from directly by touch. First one is touch. Second one is if one of the infectious person is exchanging his body fluid, for example blood from an infectious person towards a non-infectious person, is what happens is this infected blood once it is entered towards a non-infected person, surely this infection will affect towards a non-infected person, thus the non-infected person becoming a infected person. Then next third one is sexually transmitted disease. So third section is sexual contact. So if they are doing as a sexual contact, one is infected and one is non-infected. From the infected person, best example is HIV. So HIV patient is contact with the sexual contact with the non-infected person. This HIV patient can transmit the HIV towards the non-infected person through the sexual contact. Fourth one is uteroplacental, that indicating that pregnant woman can also transmit the infectious diseases to their unborn child via placenta. So that means uteroplacental, from the mother, pregnant mother, towards the unborn baby through the placenta, from the uterus towards the placenta. And one more thing is there, some STD including gonorrhea can be passed from the mother to baby during the childbirth. So normal vaginal delivery. So once the mother is delivering through as a vaginal delivery, if mother had gonorrhea is a type of sexually transmitted diseases only. If mother had gonorrhea, if she is delivering the baby through vagina, surely the baby will go for getting the gonorrheal infections. So that is a direct contact, person to person. So person to person means transmitting the disease from one person to another. First one is through touch. First one touch. Second one is through the exchange of body fluid. Example is blood transferring. Then third one is sexual contact. So they will, for example, is HIV. Then fourth one is uteroplacental. So from the mother towards the unborn baby, and through via vaginal birth. If the mother is having the STD like gonorrhea, what happens is through the vaginal delivery, the baby can able to get the gonorrhea. Then next one is droplet spread. The spraying of droplet during coughing and sneezing can spread an infectious diseases. So while coughing and sneezing, if any infected person is coughing and sneezing, what happens is this infection can able to spread towards the next person. So while you are coughing and sneezing, please close your nose and mouth with your handkerchief. Then while speaking, so once you are speaking, some people will be having the spraying of salivas will be there. So what you have to do, you have to maintain some distance between the other person while you are talking. So now the government also giving the strict instructions regarding about the corona. So once keep on giving the distance between the each peoples, that is we are calling as a social distances, in order to prevent the droplet spreadings and all. So under the direct contact, we learn about the person to person contact and droplet spread. So in the person to person contact, what I have told is how it will be occurring is by touch, then exchange of body fluids. Third one, sexual contact. Fourth one, uteroplacenta, from the mother towards the baby. And then one more thing is that through the vaginal delivery, if the mother had the sexually transmitted disease like gonorrhea, through the vaginal delivery, the baby can able to go for getting the infection. Then droplet spread means, for example, coughing, sneezing. Then once you are going for speaking with other persons, you please maintain some distance, social distances. Then while coughing and sneezing, what you have to do means we have to close your nose and mouth with your handkerchiefs. Next one is, next type of mode of transmission is indirect contact transmission. So that means indirectly, maybe as through air or any other mechanism. For example, first one is airborne transmission. Airborne transmission, some infection can travel long distances and remain suspended in the air for an extended period of time. So airborne transmission means the infection can spread through the air. For example, measles. So once the measles infected, that is infected person is there in one room, so if other person is non-infectious person is entering towards the particular room with the low immunity, surely the non-infectious person can able to get the measles, because this measles organism can able to sustain in the particular air for a period of a time. The next one main example is novel corona. So that corona patient is there in one room and other people also there in the room. Is what happen if he is sneezing or coughing or speaking to some persons, this virus can be spreading to all over the particular room. So what happened, whatever the non-infectious infectious people are there in the particular room with an infected person, the other people also can able to get the infections. Second one, contaminated object. Contaminated object indicating some of the bacteria or the virus can able to sustain in an object for a short time. If you touch the particular object that is touched by an infected person, the non-infected person also touching the particular things, what happen, this infection can able to spread through the object also. So I'll give the example corona only. So the corona patient has touched in the particular area, so that, or for example I'll tell doors. So once we are going for any institution, we have to open the doors and all. So what you'll do, if you are touching the door, please sanitize your hand. If you are not sanitizing, or already though the infected person touched the door, same area you are non-infected person is touching the same particular area. So what happened, without the sanitation, if you are touching your eyes, nose or the mouth, so what happened, the infection can be spreading to you also. Okay, so that is the one of the mode of transmission, that is with the help of any contaminated object. The infected person can able to touch towards the object and this object is contaminated. So this contaminated object is touched by a non-infection person. So it can transfer the bacteria or virus towards a non-infected person. Then third one, food and drinking water, that is contaminated food and contaminated water. If you are not cooked food properly, what happens means bacteria or virus or whatever microorganisms present in that one, it won't be killing. See, uncooked food is having more microorganisms. If you are consuming that microorganisms that is in the uncooked food, it can able to infect us. So that's why we are going for cleaning thoroughly. We should clean the vegetables, whatever you are buying from the market, we should clean properly and cook properly. If you're not cooking, you are becoming a containment. For example, E. coli is often transmitted through improperly handled procedure or uncooked meat. Here they has given us meat. If you are not cooked meat properly, so meat containing microorganism will be there. This microorganism will enter your body and it will multiply and you become as infected person. And even though water, so you are not boiling the water properly, the bacteria will be present in that one. So is consuming that, you also become as infected. Fourth one, animal to person contact. Some infectious diseases can be transmitted from an animal to a person. This can happen when an infected animal bites you, or if you are taking any of the fecal matters of the animals. For example, if you are having pet animals, some people, so some houses and all, they are having the pet animal like dog, cats and all. When you are touching the animal, after touching the animals, we should wash your hands. And when you are cleaning the animals, Then fecal matter, if you are taking the fecal matter or disposing the fecal matter of the cats, dogs and all, means after that one you should wash your hand thoroughly. If you are not properly cleaning, what happens means in the cat fecal matter and all, parasites will be there. We are calling as toxoplasma gondii parasites. So these parasites can enter your body if you are not cleaning your hand properly. So this is more dangerous for the body. Then especially towards the pregnant women and less immunity peoples like old age peoples and childrens. So these three peoples, they should avoid this type of mode of transmissions. Then fifth one, animal reservoirs. So here the animals are the reservoir here. So animal to animal disease transmission can sometimes transfer towards the humans also. That is, from the animals the man also can able to get some type of diseases. We are calling zoonosis. Zoonosis occurs when the diseases are transferred from animal to people. First one is anthrax. It's a disease causing from the sheep. Second one, rabies, causing from the rodents and other mammals. Third one is West Nile virus from the birds and plague from the rodents. Sixth one is insects bites. We are also calling as a vector-borne diseases. So maybe some of the insects sucking the bloods and all. For example is mosquito. So once the mosquito is biting, some type of mosquitoes are biting and sucking the blood, means we will be getting some of the communicable diseases like malaria, dengue fevers and all. Okay, so we can tell here insects bites is otherwise known as vector-borne diseases. So here written as some zoonotic infectious agents are transmitted by the diseases, especially by those who are sucking the blood. These include mosquitoes, fleas and ticks. The insects become infected when they feed on infected hosts such as birds, animals and human. The diseases is then transmitted when the insect bite a new host. Example is malaria, West Nile virus and Lyme disease are these type of diseases. Seventh one is environmental reservoirs. So here they has mentioned here as a soil, water and vegetation containing infectious organisms called also be transferred towards the peoples. Here I will give one best example. Children's, they will play in soil. If the soil is contaminated, what happen? Whatever the microorganism present in the contaminated soil can enter their nail buds. Then without proper washing or improper washing, or they without washing the hand, the children may keep their fingers in the mouth, or they will have something, food items and all. So once they are injecting the food, these microorganisms also enter into the body through mouth. So that time entry of microorganism. So once there is a suitable environment for the growth and development of the particular microorganism, it will multiply and it can damage the body cells. So we can able tell that person become an infected person. So that is the environmental reservoir from the contaminated soil, contaminated water and contaminated vegetations and all. Infectious organism can able to transfer towards the people. For example is hookworm. Then legionnaires diseases is one of the example towards the water from the contaminated water, that is which is present towards the cooling tower and evaporating condenser. So once more we'll go for seeing mode of transmission. Mode of transmission is in the direct contact transmission and indirect contact transmission. In the direct contact transmission consisting of two things, that is person to person contact and droplet spread. Person to person contact here consisting of is caused by the touch. Second one, exchange of body fluid. Third one is sexual contact, and fourth one is uteroplacental wave. Then second one is droplet spread. Droplet spread is caused by coughing, sneezing. Then while we are speaking, give is distance between the person to person. Then indirect contact is consisting airborne transmission, contaminated object, contaminated food and drinking water. Then animal to person contact, animal reservoirs, insect bites or vector-borne diseases, environmental reservoirs.